You know what?
We rag on each other's outfits.
I know.
But when I put this dress on, I thought to myself, I shouldn't do it.
Let's go out on the town, Minnie.
I shouldn't do it.
You've never worn this before.
I think you have.
No.
No, never.
No?
I
Never.
said, they're going to give me so much grief. But then off camera, they both said, you look okay.
No,
you
it's
look
a-
okay.
it's a-
And the second we get on air, the Minnie Mouse voice.
It's a nice dress.
Well, what do you tell us all the time? When in doubt, navy blue suit and a decent shirt.
Right.
You're taking
right.
You're taking a chance today.
Okay. I want to change.
We'll let
Jordan,
the internet
I already want to change.
decide.
All right, internet, you be the judge.
It's a nice dress. It's a
Don't
very-
be.
Well, I got told by Michelle, our makeup artist, that I have oily eyelids, that I have nose hairs, and that if I keep putting Splenda in my coffee, I'm going to get a sugar belly.
I've told you,
So
Splenda
it's rock bottom right now.
Splenda is chemical ridden. Just use sugar in the raw.
No, the sugar in the raw goes to the bottom, and you can't get it.
You can't get to
Hey,
it.
hugs
get
for
any.
Doug. Doug,
Yeah.
Robert's dog, is in surgery right now.
Yeah,
so.
my boy Doug is having surgery on his paw. My wife had to drop him off, and it's just, you know.
He'll be all right. The cone is a pain in the neck.
I know.
By the way, cone scam.
Yeah.
No, they
Yes,
were.
it is.
I usually give him treats in the morning, but he couldn't eat after midnight.
No, he's
so
gotta
he's
have
just
an empty-
looking at me going,
What
hey,
the?
hey, treats. Hey, over here. Give me some treats.
Hey, you know what I'm doing at 1 o'clock today?
What's that?
I'm posted up watching Jack Leiter get his first.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Come on. I
Come
just
on.
texted back and forth with Al. I said, Al,
I texted out.
I just wrote in bold. Just enjoy it.
Yes.
Enjoy it, because I think the fathers and moms grind harder
Of course.
than the guy actually playing.
No, it's great. Going to be looking forward
Let's
to
turn on Ballpark
Jack
Cam
Leiter
because
making
it's
his
at
debut.
Comerica Park. And I think, I think of if it was Brooks, like what advice would you give him?
Trust yourself.
Okay.
You're prepared. You're ready for this moment. So
Hey,
it's all you ever dreamed
Jack,
about.
welcome to the Bigs and a beautiful gray day in the, I'm going to guess in the 30s.
It's garbage outside here, by the way.
30s?
Oh, really? Is it?
Robert,
Shocking.
I know.
But Al's been here since 2009. You said something in our morning meeting. You said it's a network day, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Jack when he was a boy. So good
Yeah,
luck to you.
we've kind of by osmosis been following his, his career and
Absolutely.
rooting for him. So it should be a great day.
To Baltimore, it was a great day for the Orioles. The Twins have been going through it. Bottom of the first. And you asked the other week, what's the jersey you get at the team store? This one.
I'm getting his.
Gunnar Henderson.
This might be Troy. Brad
Four-seamer
Pitt.
down the middle. Yes,
I mean,
please.
I mean,
They're going to be World Series contenders for the next 10 years.
It's a
how about your
accuracy.
Astros? There.
Well, they were contenders for the last 10
They
years.
had a great.
Yeah, so enjoy it.
They had a nice run.
Just
They
take
did.
the positives. The
I am.
Twins
Good
offense.
point.
Nice hit by Kyle Farmer.
Well, the Twins' offense cannot cover Carlos Correa and Royce Lewis being out of it.
Yeah.
It's too. That's
Good
too
point.
much.
Bottom third in average runs per game, OPS and strikeouts. Orioles
Mommy.
responded in the bottom of the seventh. Anthony Santander batting fourth, tying up the ball game. And then your boy on display. Listen to this call. Little foreshadowing. Bottom of the ninth, 1 on for Cedric Mullins. Do it.
Never hit a walk-off home run. Until now, maybe. Deep right field. Cedric Mullins. Good night. Sweet dreams, Minnesota.
It's Cedric Mullins. I can't get away from him.
What?
That's a meme. I'll explain it to you later.
Huh?
Go get him, Cedric.
Yeah, it was just wanting to get something deep that I could drive. Not trying to do too much there to keep the line moving. I was able to get a good pitch to put over. Just staying locked in, preparing for each day and going in with a team attitude, ready to win. I think if you go to the replay, you'll see my face. I was in shock, but I was excited.
All right, let's talk about a couple more AL East teams. Yankees, Blue Jays. Blue Jays already won the series, looking for the sweep. Dalton Varsho, second homer of the game. Second career multi-homer game for Varsho. Last time it happened, September of 2022. So we go to the eighth. Yankees are down 3. Juan Soto cuts the lead to 2. All Soto did yesterday, 3 for 3, 2 walks and 3 hits. Yankees cut the lead to 4-2. So we go to the ninth. Giancarlo Stanton is at the plate. Okay, now it's a 4-3 game. His 5th home run of the season.
Ball was vaporized.
Yeah. Blue Jays also hampered because Chad
very far.
Chad Green was unavailable with shoulder soreness. Still in the inning. 4 batters later, Jose Trevino. That's an RBI single, and we're tied at 5. 3 batters later. This team has been so good, and they haven't had Garrett Cole, and they really haven't had Aaron Judge offensively. But he comes through here. Yankees avoid the sweep. Here's Aaron Judge after the game.
You just got to flush it. You know, if there's a bad call, you take a bad swing. You know, it's about moving on to the next pitch and just being ready for that next opportunity. You know, all game I came up with some spots where I should have got the job done, didn't, and it's just about moving on to the next pitch. And in that situation, you know, all inning, our guys are having great at-bats, and, you know, it's your time to step up. We're just never out of it. You know, I think that's what's great about this team. Even when we go down early, even if we're scuffling, you know, even a little sluggish throughout the game, you know, we were talking all game, you know, hey, let's pick it up, let's pick it up, let's pick it up. And eventually, you know, it comes to play out there in the ninth.
So, Dero, the Toronto Blue Jays had already won the series, but they have to feel after yesterday's game, man, we let one get away because they were really looking good for a sweep against those Yankees yesterday.
Would you have brought the righty in, Bowden Francis, to face Judge, or let Meza? That was a tough call by Don Schneider right there.
That is.
It's not like you have a ton of options there.
Yeah, well, as I said, Chad Green did not pitch in that game. They said that he was dealing with some shoulder soreness, and Romano was also unavailable too.
Just watching the Yanks play, though, and we're going to get into Juan Soto. His ABs are must-see. Back-to-back with Judge. I mean, the two of them. He makes walking look like an art form at times. I'd like to see him pull the trigger on a few more pitches, but we're going to get in. Nays, researcher to the stars, tells me, hey, with runners in scoring position, Dero, don't worry about it. He gets a little bit more aggressive. So I wanted to three-tile this game real quick. I want to focus on Dalton Varsho because he took it on the chin. Let's get into it. He had a big game yesterday, 2 homers. He had a great defensive series, which I don't think people realize. We talk about Christian Walker at first base being like this DRS godsend. Dalton Varsho, more of the same from a defensive perspective in left field. So he's gotten off to a nice start. Pause this. Bring up the trade board from last year because this is crazy when you really think about it. Dalton Varsho, Blue Jays acquire him, and look at what they gave up. Now, I know they have Alejandro Kirk, they have Danny Jansen, they had weapons behind home plate. Lourdes Gurriel was going into a free agent year. Were they really going to pay him? Who's to say? There was outfield for days there. So I understand the thinking, but my God, he's turned into a potential franchise pillar with my man in the outfield, Corbin Carroll. And Lourdes Gurriel has got 5 bombs already and is pretty much proven he's been one of the more savvy free agent signings in the offseason by Mike Hazen. So, landslide to the D-backs in this trade, face value. But let's get back into the tape. Dalton Varsho's got 4 bombs. He's got an OPS of north of 768, I believe. I can't read your notes because I can't put my glasses on right now. And he was able to take a sinker from Marcus Stroman on a 1-2 count. He doesn't cheat, and we'll get into it. He almost hits with like a 2-strike approach. Sets the foot down and lets his hands play. Here he is again against Caleb Ferguson, kind of going out and getting a cutter away and hooking it to right field. Pause. You see him just drop that foot? That's what we used to do with 2 strikes in Texas. That was a Mikey Young move. Get this foot out of the way, head doesn't move, and then just play pepper with your hands. He's doing it from jump. Run this. Bang. So hopefully he goes on to have a monster season, plays great D, hits 30 bombs for them, and maybe the trade starts to even itself out a little bit. But you can't deny in left field, he probably should be playing center on every other team, but he's got Kevin Kiermaier in center field. So watching him play D, this is last year, playing caroms at the Rogers Center. He's got a great arm. He's just got a nice feel for how to patrol the outfield. Bring up the DRS board, because this is, I was like, whoa. Outfield DRS leader since the start of 22.
Holy moly.
Holy moly.
And he blows them out. Wow. The 52, 33, Stephen Kwan, Tatis, Kyle Isbell, and Michael A. Taylor. Michael A. Taylor, one of the better ones to do it in center field. So This guy's doubling your production in saving runs defensively in the outfield. You can understand why they went out and got the Kiermaiers of the world and the Varshos of the world with that great pitching staff. Okay, let's get into, I just want to dive into Soto's ABs. I mean, you talk about having professional at-bats, time, and he's changed the entire landscape of what they look like offensively. I know Verdugo and Rizzo back in there, giving them some left-handed pop, but this is his first AB, okay? Gets to a 3-1 count right here, doesn't come outside himself, splitty away, let's work the walk. Now second AB, right here, pause. Run it just a little bit more. I want to see the bug say 1-0. Pause. All right, 1-0 right here. Toronto's up, top third, 2-0. What do you think he's getting in this spot right here?
Heater.
What pitch? Thank you. He's bought himself a free heater. Because if he gives up a solo home run in this spot, he doesn't, solos won't kill you. I still got the lead. Run this. I'd like to see him swing at that. That's the rub when I watch him on a nightly basis. He ends up getting a little slider that he hooks through the 4-3 hole. But I'd like to see him in moments take a few more shots. But what he does do, pause. Man in scoring position, bring up the runners in scoring position board for Juan Soto. Take a look at this. Juan Soto with runners in scoring position this season compared to the rest of the Yankees lineup. He's had 20 plate appearances. He's hitting .571 with a slug north of 1,000. The rest of the Yankees are irrelevant in this situation right now. Last year's Yankees were the second worst in baseball. So maybe a little bit of it's done by design. He waits for people to get runners in scoring position, and then he gets a little bit more aggressive. Let's get back into this AB. 0-1, he's already hacking. 96.
Oh boy.
Double off the wall. So, I mean, nobody is controlling at-bats. And then right here, Genesis Cabrera, it should be left on left. He's a showman at the plate. Like, I know you're not trying to hit me. Let me just have a full AB, get you into a 3-1 count where I feel like I could get something in the middle of the plate. Now we're battling. 2-2. We're still battling. You're sitting slider all day long. Ooh, heater. I would have been sitting slider. He goes heater 96 and shoots him pull side. And he does things a little bit differently at the plate. For me, he's not a guy who creates a ton of lag with his bottom hand. He's real into the ground with his lower half. And then in this situation right here, 4-4, he knows he has Judge on deck, bases loaded, and he just grinds out an unbelievable walk.
So
and the way he goes about it, Robert, right there, he knows that pitch is down. And watch Meza. Watch this. He wants this pitch. Look at him.
No way.
Chance. Get off me. Now go get Judge. And then Aaron Judge. He's gotten off to a slow start. Let's dive in on him because he has had monster moments at the Rogers Center. That was the at-bat of 2022 against Manoah when he went 3-2 and tried to run a heater in. Two just absolute animals going after it. So he has dominated the Rogers Center. Remember the whole peaking incident up there that became a gigantic story for about 10 days? He doesn't need to peak. This guy is an absolute beast. But he has gotten off to a rough start for him. I expect him to get going. Obviously, Kevin Gausman wanted to establish heater in on him. He ends up getting a huge knock to get him out of there. Dirty split in a big spot right there, 3-2. Nasty slider down and in. Guys are making pitches. He's getting some tough pitches called on him by the umpire, putting him in a hole. But when he needed to step up, he stepped up in a big spot and won this game for them. I wanted to show a little bit of side angle because I just think
it's less of a marionette like it was last year. Is it in his lower half or no?
Lauren, we're going to look at it. Pause this. 2024, and this is last year. Same camera angle. They've adjusted Rogers Center. I know you're looking at the dugout right here, and you're looking at the camera well here. But they've adjusted the entire kind of infrastructure of what they're doing in the Rogers Center. This is a similar camera. So I want you to run this, and when he gets to that marionette, top of his leg kick, I just want you to stop. Pause. Now, to me, just naked eye stuff, what I would talk to about guys on the bench, it just seems to me like there's way more ripple and creases in his pants than on this side. Like he's way more stacked into this back hip, way more engaged lower half-wise. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right.
I just think he looks stronger.
Pause. This foot's already on the ground, and he's still reaching. I just think he's a little long. This, just a smidge, a click off, a click where he's just getting this is getting a little out there too far, where last year it was into this hip, this came up and almost replaced itself straight down, and he hit from back here and created this lag. Slow click this. Pause. Look at how tight he is to his body. Tight there too. It's pretty good. There's not much. He's gonna get hot as a pistol here in a second. He's just got to clean it up just a little bit, maybe just a little overstridey. Guys are beating him to the spot. Maybe he's getting pitched in a little bit more than usual. But when he needed to, he came up in a big spot. This guy. I mean, are we looking at like the Mets and Yanks are just going to fight all summer? And who's going to get this guy eventually?
And by the way, Soto tied for the major league lead with 4 outfield assists. He had another one yesterday, tied with Ramon Laureano.
The Yankees left Toronto. They have the day off today. A weird schedule. A couple afternoon games and a late 9:45 Eastern first pitch to Citizens Bank Park. I want to live there. I really do. Remember when we went there, they served us the best meal. The food is so good, the energy, the Rockies in town. We have been watching Kyle Schwarber do this for years.
Hi.
It's so aggressive. It's so violent. Phillies tie the game 1 run apiece. Trey Turner, so sweet, left field. Phils take a 2-1 lead, score 4 runs in the inning. And we talked about Ranger Suarez yesterday. Now we're talking about Christopher Sanchez in the top of the 6, 2 outs, 10 strikeouts for Sanchez. All in the day's work.
Yeah.
He's really good for them last.
I mean, the Phillies really are put together so well. They have it all. Bottom of the 6th, Schwarber, second of the game. We're going to put that home run into context in just a little bit. Phillies extend their lead 7-1. Colorado put up a fight, trying to make a comeback. They're trailing 7-4. Ezekiel Tovar in the top of the 8th with the bases loaded. Hit it where they ain't. RBI single to left. That will score 2. So the Rockies cut the lead 7-6. Last chance. And the top of the 9th, Jose Alvarado on the mound. He got exactly what he wanted. Phillies win it 7-6. I mentioned that perspective. Check this out, because these are such different hitters on this board. Most career multi-homer games out of the leadoff spot.
Wow.
Mookie Betts, 26. George Springer, of course. Alfonso Soriano. And Kyle Schwarber. Brady Anderson? Oh, what?
Yes, please.
I had a poster of him on my wall. I remember I used to point into the crowd, and I'd be like, he's pointing at me. My dad's like, no, he's not.
He had the 90210 sideburns.
Sideburns that connected to his chin.
Yeah, I remember. It was real.
It was real.
Coming up on MLB Central.
Moment in time.
Moment in time.
My big boy.
Oh, this baby.
Let's go to the Express Trade. Nats, Dodgers. That's Landon Knack making his major league debut.
Return of the man. That's what he came out to.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Jamming.
This is a perfect result for C.J. Abrams.
Stud.
That's a leadoff homer, and the Nats take a 1-0 lead. Remember, this is the rubber game of this series here. Later in the inning, Joey Meneses brings in Jesse Winker. By the way, Jesse Winker's been really good for the Nationals.
I was going to use him for name dropping, but
He looks good, too. Came in great shape. Freddie Freeman. Oh, shocking. Extra base hit. Oh, it's not an extra base hit. He grounded into a double play. That's something you don't see. And look at Joey Meneses make a great play.
Vladdy Guerrero Jr. made a nice.
Nats go on to take the series. They have the Astros beginning on Friday.
Our top
Speaking
story.
of which, our top story, Yordan Alvarez. Solo home run is 5th of the season. The Astros led twice in this series. Didn't win any of the games. Marcell Ozuna, good grief. He is scorching hot. His 8th of the year, and we're tied.
He has 8 home runs.
And Ronald Acuna Jr. has 1. His first home run of the season. And the Braves lead 2-1. This is a big moment in this game. Matt Olson, chopper to Jose Abreu, can't make the play. That's an error. Michael Harris, the second, scores. It's been a rough go, Dero, for Abreu at the plate.
What I tell you, you got to give it 40 games.
Okay, well, they're off to their worst 20-game start since 2016. That was the last time they missed the playoffs.
Panic after
Braves sweep the Astros
win every
5-4.
year. I'm so over it.
Reds, Mariners.
You had a
With
good
everybody saying L. Lee De La Cruz. Yeah. That's gone.
Read about it.
And that was the only offense that the Reds had.
Big dumper.
Yeah, the big dumper gets into one. Got him.
I know.
We're tied at 1.
I don't know if I would like that because it must mean he's got a nice tuchus.
Yes.
But if everyone called me big dumper,
meantime,
like that.
Miller was amazing. Bryce Miller, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, gave up just that 1 earned run. Mitch Garver, his first home run as a member of the Mariners. Mariners go on to sweep the Reds 4-1. Mariners starters have 7 consecutive quality starts. Let's go to St. Petersburg for the Angels and the Rays. I was locked in on this one as always. Mike Trout.
Yeah, it's on.
Jeez.
It's on, guys.
Yeah. 8th home run of the year for Trouty. And then Ahmed Rosario, his 2nd. And the Rays jump back on top 4-3.
Did you hear Ron Washington puts a
Pete
note
Fairbanks,
in their locker at this?
Anthony Rendon, that's a base knock. Randy Arozarena, throw to the plate. Not in time. Zach Neto called safe. Rays challenge, call overturn. And the runner is out after intentional walk. Taylor Ward off Fairbanks. Rendon scores. Angels win 5-4. Here's Pete Fairbanks after the game.
Gotcha. Was it just a matter of command, location, selection, anything specific?
No, I thought it generally sucked. I didn't think it was a specific suck. I thought it was like an all-encompassing type of suck. So, we're going to try and rectify that. But for right now, I'm going to be pretty pissed about it.
Pete, where do you kind of go from here? Is it looking at tape? Is it going through mechanics? Where do you kind of go from here?
You tell me. I've tried that. If you got an answer, I'd love to hear. Just, not going to let it beat me up for, I'll maybe give it till 10. It's 9:44 right now. We'll give it 16 minutes of sulk, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
Hang in there, Pete. You'll figure it out. He's allowed 7 runs.
To unpack it.
He's allowed 7 runs this season. Last year didn't allow us a 7th run until August. Guardians, Red Sox from Fenway. Tristan Casas facing Ben Lively. A balk is called.
That is a weak balk call. I'm sorry.
Stephen Vogt didn't like it either.
Weak.
Ben Lively pitched very well for the Guardians yesterday. Connor Wong, University of Houston's
Oh my gosh,
Connor
every
Wong.
day.
God.
Hey, I can't help it if Connor Wong's hitting tanks back-to-back games.
Clyde Drexler.
But the story was Tanner Houck. He throws a Maddox. Less than 100 pitches in under 2 hours? Yeah, it's a shutout
49.
for Tanner Houck. Red Sox win by the final of 2-0. That is the fastest game since Armando Galarraga went $144 a few years ago. Fastest game at Fenway Park in 50 years. And you got Sarah Langs and more info on this. 1 hour and 49, shortest 9-inning game, as I mentioned, since Armando Galarraga back in 2010.
I was on MLB.com, Dero, and they described it perfectly. It said the headline was Tanner Houck restores order.
Their rotation's been really good.
Oh.
I know Whitlock's dinged up now, but Tanner Houck, listen, that was the rub on the Red Sox this offseason. That's why guys were so
It's been
upset.
one of the biggest surprises.
We sat here and said, why didn't they do more?
A Montgomery or a Yamamoto, however it shook out, they were like a starter away, right? Because you didn't know Nick Pivetta. He's kind of that hybrid reliever for him. The same with Houck, the same with Whitlock. You were trying to say, are these guys starters? Are they hybrid relievers? What do we have here? They've pieced it together and been really good. And Tanner Houck was awesome last night. So Nays wanted to dive in. Let's get after it here. Let's give me a front end.
Nays wants you.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you profile Tanner Houck, there's not a right-hander alive that wants to see this guy with the east-west, the sinker-slider combination that he has. But you see the low home, the low three-quarter. He can just dominate you with sinker-slider. Pause this real quick. Bring up the first board, his career OPS splits. Like I said, complete domination of right-handed hitters. A 566 from 20 2020 to 2023. You see in 2024, a 619 career OPS. Versus lefties, he's gotten way better. He has started to incorporate this split to kind of tunnel with his slider, which is pretty unusual. You got to give a ton of credit to Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach for the Red Sox. He's obviously shown these guys you don't have to throw a ton of heaters and heater counts. You can start to manipulate the ball kind of east and west. So let's get back into the tape. So like I said, he's got the two-seam, nasty slider combo to the righties. And last night, his slider was breaking from batter's box to batter's box. There was nothing you could do from a right-handed point of view. And Stephen Vogt didn't have many right-handers in the lineup. He went dominant, left-handed dominant. But this nasty split is playing all day long. You see the bad swings. Watch Estevan Florial right here. We're going to get a steady diet of sliders, and then he's going to put them away with a nasty split finger. Just on top of his game. Like you said, an hour and 49 minutes, complete domination.
That's amazing.
Get back in the car, get home.
I mean, that's like 2 Oppenheimers.
It was really good. We're going to bring up a board here in a second. Just kind of his pitch usage splits versus left-handers.
Looking mad, though.
I mean, obviously, Maddox is one of the best. But on August 31st, 2004, who's the last Red Sox to do it? Oh, 1-5's next-door neighbor, Kevin Millar. Clay Buchholz. Clay
had a good career.
When Clay was right,
yeah, dirty.
He'd shove. And Tanner Houck shoved last night. I know he's named Doc Holliday there, but take a look at this. Pitch usage splits versus left-handers. 2023. Just look at the slider split combo. Slider stayed the same, but that splitter usage has gone from 18% to Wednesday night, it was 42%. And bring me up just that observed movement board and blow people's minds. Okay.
Explain this.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Okay.
The orange and yellow, if you got one going one way, you've got to have one going the other.
Okay.
So if there was one north and south, that's how it's got to play. So the orange is his two-seam sinker. Okay?
Okay.
So imagine the ball running in on a right-hander, 3 o'clock
What's the
style.
blue?
Okay? The blue's his split finger.
Oh.
So his split finger's got some sinker action, so he can technically tunnel his split and his slider, which not a lot of people can do. Do you have it now?
I think I do.
So if one's going this way, I need one going this way. If one's going this way, I need one going this way. Don't overthink it.
You explained it well.
Boom.
Boom.
Pitcher point of view.
And the relievers are burned out. They have a bullpen game today, so that
Sorry with
performance
these.
was even bigger because
Maze,
of that.
we need bigger font on the notes. I'm
Maze
sorry.
is way smarter.
Carlos Carrasco will get the start for the Cleveland Guardians, and you said it was a bullpen.
It's a bullpen game for them.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of MLB Central. John Heyman, I see him right out of the corner of my eye. He's going to be in studio.
John Heyman in studio with all the good from the first few weeks of April. We are living in the positive. Good morning to you. You had quite the introduction, and so has Mike Trout to the season. Wow, what a start. I was reading about his relationship with Torrey Hunter, who has kind of mentored him over the years, and he said the other day, I see the same guy, I see the same fight, I see the same talent. What do you see when you watch him?
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, he is still great. He is still one of the best players in baseball, if not the best player in baseball. And look, I'm going to talk about these future Hall of Famers all over the leaderboards, and this is a guy now leading in home runs, tied with Zuna with 8 home runs. So, I mean, he is back on his game. He also has 3 stolen bases, so he's back doing that. I mean, just obviously an all-time great talent, playing his best right now. 690 slugging. That would lead, of course, if Tyler O'Neill wasn't so high up there. Right now, he's second in that. So Mike Trout off to a fantastic start.
I mean, he grew up idolizing Derek Jeter. We know, of course, he wore one uniform. Is that going to be his future?
Yes, I do not see him leaving the Angels. I mean, every time I have talked to him, and usually it's in spring training, he just loves being an Angel. He wants to win there. You know, he may get some criticism that he's sticking with a team that hasn't been in the playoffs, but I mean, you know what? The shooter Kevin Durant, he got criticism for going to the best team and then winning the championship.
Can't win.
By doing that, it's like you can't win.
Sure.
He wants to win there with the Angels, and he's determined to do that. Now, he clearly has value. Now, they could trade him. Somebody would want him, certainly, whether it be his hometown, Philadelphia, New York, whatever. But he has a full no trade. I do not see him going anywhere.
Okay, Mookie has worn a couple jerseys. I was reading a Mookie highlight the other day, and I just glossed over. I said, 5-hit game by Mookie Betts. And I didn't even pay attention. A 5-hit game. Are we underappreciating him? That's crazy, right?
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, people talked in spring training about how he might have trouble hitting now that he's playing shortstop. I mean, it's amazing that he's going over to play shortstop and doing fine at shortstop after being great at second, being maybe the best in right field, tied with Judge and a couple others. But, I mean, he's been good at shortstop, but at bat, he has been amazing. 1,137 OPS, leads the National League, and, he leads in hits with 31. He leads in runs with 22, hitting 369. I mean, that is quite a dynamic 1-2. We knew that it would be 1-2-3, really, with Freeman,
Sure.
but 369, and then Ohtani hitting 360. I mean, he is an all-time great as well.
I'm hitting 369 with 18-6. Wow. I was with the Yankees in camp, and I remember watching a spring game. And at the time, I was in the stands. It was a DJ walk, a Soto walk, a Judge walk, and then Anthony Rizzo hit a grand slam. And you love listening to Yankee fans, right? And they said it's not just the power to all fields. He just changes, and Dero documented that at the Skybox earlier. He changes the entire complexion of the lineup. We can't say that enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Dero was absolutely right. I mean, incredible. You would think that he would get fewer walks batting in front of Judge, but he leads in walks at 22. He leads the American League with a 478 on base. He has changed that entire offense. I mean, last year they were near the bottom in on-base percentage. This year they are well above average in on-base percentage. I mean, he has really driven this bus. He's driven this team. Volpe's been good. Cabrera's been good, but they haven't other guys who are not performing, as Dero documented earlier. This guy is really carrying this team right now.
The Yankees back from Toronto and off today. We had one more. It was Jose Altuve, Robert Flores, but we don't have time. Darn it, your Astros, a bright spot.
Mm-hmm.
He's not,
I was going to say something nice about the Astros.
What are you saying? Mm-hmm.
All right, you can tell it to me during the break. Because, right now we have to go to the
Altuve good.
Sponsored element.
Yeah, sponsored element. Respect the sanctity of the sponsored element. This is Close Shave presented by Dove Men Plus Care. Pinch hitter Josh Smith in Detroit for the Rangers. RBI double to put his team ahead 5-4. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Kirby Yates. He's 2-0 in the season. He's got an ERA of 0. He has struck out 9 batters in just over 7 innings of work. He gets Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, and Kerry Carpenter to finish off the Tigers. Rangers win 5-4. Remember, same two teams this afternoon, and it's Jack Leiter who makes his major league debut for those Texas Rangers.
Hi. MLB Central is presented by Hyundai.
I should not have them
Spend
on
the
paper.
morning with us. The hills are alive. I'm kidding. Robert Flores, Mark Derosa, I'm Lauren.
Got pretty woman over here, fresh off going to the polo match with Richard Gere.
Woo, 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 woo. That movie was good.
It
really
was
good.
Very good.
I mean, that's Julia Roberts at the peak of her
Richard Gere's
powers.
so handsome.
Richard Gere.
He is a handsome guy.
You remember that movie, American Gigolo?
No, I didn't watch
You
that.
should not watch it.
Okay.
We were thinking Richard Gere is super.
Remember that scene where he's hanging upside down and he's doing those ab exercises with those boots from the ball?
What if we did a D-list? Because yesterday, the D-list on the number 3s, that had some traction. People were saying Dylan Cease is a 3 for the Padres. I don't see him as a 3. That's why I didn't put him in there. But you imagine doing a list of like the top 5 best-looking guys.
Yeah, I mentioned Randall Grichuk.
Who would
might
be at
be
the top?
most
You
handsome
would have
guy.
Randall Grichuk.
Well, I think he's in the mix.
I like a more ruggedly handsome kind of guy.
Okay.
I can't partake in this. You're a video game guy?
Yes.
Who's the vintage villain in Mario? I played Duck Hunt, so I don't know.
I mean, you
it's
know.
Bowser.
Bowser,
is the answer.
yes.
Apparently he's the bad guy. He steals Princess Peach. Bowser, Cowser. It writes itself.
Okay, we
You
got
see
it.
where we're going?
He's the milkman. I
Milkman.
did see that. I don't know the reference. Why?
Wait, that's going to go into your hydration
Can you milk me?
station.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? Just. Okay, let's go front and center.
Let's go.
What a great movie.
God.
Golly, what a great movie. Hey, let's go to Baltimore for the Twins and the Orioles. And yeah, the Orioles did get that sweep of the Minnesota Twins. That's Cedric Mullins.
Stop saying that. Nobody knows.
I can't escape
little
him.
man.
Yeah, little man. Third walk-off this season for the Orioles. First walk-off home run for Cedric Mullins. And they beat the Twins 4-2. Look at the hydration station. I love it. All those poses and everything. Yankees, Blue Jays. Blue Jays were looking for a sweep. Thought they were going to get it. But Juan Soto and the boys and Aaron Judge had other ideas. Also, Giancarlo Stanton went deep. And then Aaron Judge, the biggest hit of his young campaign. And it's all part of a comeback win against the Blue Jays, 6-4 in the beautifully renovated Rogers Center. Guardians and Red Sox, Tanner Houck, the first Maddox of the season, and the first for Boston since Clay Buchholz 10 years ago. A Maddox, of course, is a game under 2 hours with less than 100 pitches.
Fine, everyone knows
Everyone knows that. I don't have to tell you that. Red Sox and Guardians a little bit later this afternoon at Fenway Park. Phillies, Rockies. Phillies get their first sweep of the season. Kyle Schwarber dominant at the plate. 2 homers, including career home run number 250. That was the first bomb he sent. Trey Turner also went deep. Philadelphia Phillies beat the Rockies 7-6. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. Braves sweep the Astros at Minute Maid Park. Marcell Ozuna, exit velo of 112 miles per hour. He is scorching hot. 432 feet away. That tied the game at 1. Also going deep. And for the first time in 2024, you knew it was a matter of time. And I knew it would happen against the Astros. And it did. Ronald Acuna Jr. Braves beat the Astros 5-4. The Astros are 6-14. They've been swept 3 times. Twice at home. They are off to their worst 20-game start since 2016, the last time they made missed the playoffs. Justin Verlander will make his season debut Friday in Washington against the Nats. Mets. By the way, the Mets, the last time they gained a game on the Braves was June of 2013. I saw that on Twitter. That's
bananas.
a banana stat. They do sweep the Pirates, however, 9-1. This was a tidy game as well. Padres Brewers, Blake Perkins, RBI knock.
A tidy game?
It was tidy. Joe Piamps got the save. Michael King was excellent, but he gets the loss. Padres beat the Padres 1-0. Layout.
Oh, Thorne, the ball game is over. That's a special player. You see this right there? Gone! William Contreras.
Contreras made him pay for it.
One of the league's best catchers. And perfect throw from Contreras.
William Contreras has been really good for this team behind the dish.
A bullet-like throw from Contreras.
Contreras sends it deep and gone.
William Contreras is punishing pitches like that right now. What a statement for Contreras.
It's a massive reach.
All right, see, this is what we get for believing things
on the internet?
On the internet.
Must be true.
You put it right in my, you showed it to me right as I'm reading the highlight.
Bus.
It's a parody account. So the Mets not gaining a game on the Braves.
It sounded very emphatic and good, though, at the time.
Yeah, I hate those sites like that, or those handles like that.
When we talk catchers, Dero, we usually say he's a great hitter for a catcher. William Contreras, the guy behind you, is a great hitter for a hitter.
I can make the argument he's one of the top 20 hitters in the game since he broke in 2022. I can make the argument that he might be the best catcher in the sport. I'm taking JT Realmuto till I die. But the numbers from an offensive standpoint support him. The numbers also support the fact that Milwaukee has a nice little way of defensively helping out their catchers. And I'm going to be honest. The Braves and Alex Anthopoulos have done a lot of things that are like mind-blowingly awesome. They might have jumped the gun on this one. So I want to get in. This is Eric Naze's first manifesto he brought into my office. I swear. This thing is heavy. And he said, D-Row.
Not sure that's a good term.
William Contreras. Let's get in. I'm all about it because this is right up my alley about morphing into one of the better players in the game. Okay? Give him an awesome front end right here, and we're going to pause this, and we're going to bring up his OPS leaders since he's broken into the league. So this is where he kind of falls in. OPS plus leaders is probably the plus. It just means park adjusted. Make every park the same. OPS is probably your best offensive stat. Corey Seager's 14th at a 140. Look, I mean, he's ahead of Austin Riley. Wow. He's 19th in the entire sport. So offense, we're going to get into because he's made some adjustments. Get me back into the tape. What I want to talk about is the trade. I know the Braves went out and got Sean Murphy, and they got Sean Murphy for obvious defensive reasons, right? They had Travis d'Arnaud and William Contreras. I think trust tree, maybe the Braves didn't think they wanted a young catcher behind the dish. Maybe Travis is not a guy who's going to play every day. Let's go out and get our monster from Oakland. Take a look at the deal, okay? So the Braves get Sean Murphy. The Athletics get a slew of minor leaguers. How do you say that? Esteury Ruiz went deep. Esteury Ruiz went deep yesterday. Was awesome. But look at what the Brewers were able to acquire. William Contreras.
Piamps is good, too.
He pitched yesterday. And Justin Yeager. So I want to dive back into his defense a little bit. Bring up the defensive board. So, okay, from 21 to 22 when he was with the Braves, defensive runs saved, he was -11. Framing runs, he was -12. Oh, all of it's negative with the Atlanta Braves uniform on. Let's hats off to the Milwaukee Brewers coaching staff. Hats off to William Contreras for sticking his nose in the defense a little bit more. They've done this with Omar Narvaez, and they made him a better defensive catcher. They've obviously have made William Contreras a better defensive catcher because the numbers support it. DRS is 3, framing runs, it's all positive now. So he was the 9th worst catch among MLB catchers from 21 to 22. And now he's above average. So defense has picked up, but it's the offense that steals the show. Let's get into it because, like I said, he does everything that I learned in Texas under Rudy Jaramillo. How to load, how to get in your most powerful position to deliver a blow to a baseball, how to get your A-hack off, then maybe shorten up with 2 strikes, pause this, bring up the hard hit rates. Hard hit percentage leaders among StatCast qualifiers this season. Bobby Witt, who is putting the league on notice. He's been the best player from the start of the season so far. Look who's second. William Contreras, Jordan West, and the entire Orioles team. Jordan Westburg, Gunnar Henderson on down the line. So he absolutely murders the baseball. Hard contact. Let me take you inside a few of his home runs. Facing his old teammate, Corbin Burns. Okay, so there's history there. He knows what his stuff does. He knows what he likes to go to. He's had moments in Milwaukee with him, so he goes cutter away. Pause. If I'm a betting man, and I know William Contreras might be in this spot, he's saying he wants to throw that cutter again. There's nothing on the line. He's going to just make sure he elevates it. Run it. Tries to steal a strike, 96, middle of the plate, same pitch, and doesn't cheat to it and rushes it to dead center field. Just an absolute bomb. Take you through this at bat as well. I mean, just confidence for days.
That's not a strike.
Because Emerson Hancock gets him in a tough 2-2 count. High gas right there. He knows he can elevate. He's not too close to the plate. Gives himself a chance. Woo! Tries to go front hip slider. See you later. Again, trusting his base, trusting how strong he is. Pause this. When I was in Texas, Rudy Jaramillo used to talk about, like I said, you gotta load and get in your most powerful position. For kids at home, for coaches, there's a bunch of kids out there that hit like myself, coming up where they just willed it, right? You were 50-50, maybe 60-40 weight distribution, and your first move was to get off this backside. You're just playing collision baseball, and whatever happens, happens. But when you get to these levels, the big leagues, AA, AAA, and guys can locate, once you give up your backside, you lose the whole inner third of the plate. Jam, jam, jam. So when I got to Texas in 2005, the whole goal was to figure out how to feel a load into your back hip and inside of your back knee. How do you get into this powerful position? The easy choice is a leg kick. That's what we went to first. I could not time that up against pitchers. All spring training, I hit 080 trying to time it up. Watch this. This is what he did in Atlanta. Run it. Pause. Classic leg kick. Run it through. What's the adjustment he's made in Milwaukee? We're going to a toe tap. Pause. So, I mean, you are fully engaged. So, kids at home, if you want to take this chance, the head doesn't move, and it's subtle. Bang. I feel I'm into my backside just by doing that. Ready? Bang. It doesn't have to be this huge leg kick. Boom, I'm there, ready to go. And then it's a fire off this backside. Bottom hand's your steering wheel, top hand's your power. Go. It's everything I believe in. God, he's in a good spot to hit. Here it is from the front. Pause.
He's already in the backside when he's, before the pitch is thrown.
And there's going to be guys who have success doing it this way. Kids at home, be willing to take chances. You see this? He might eventually go back to a leg kick if he gets in trouble right here. But he's always searching to get engaged on his backside to deliver a hot swing to the baseball. Run it. Yeah, just a really good offensive player. I mean, the Contreras brothers are really just crazy what they've been able to do. And he murders left-handed pitching, which is not surprising. For a right-handed hitter, getting a toe tap, see, he actually went leg kick right there, 1-2. It's probably 2022 stuff, 2023. Give me the splits. Plate appearances versus right-handed pitchers. I mean, he's still good. 265, he's got an OPS of 774. But you see against left-handed pitching. And that's the thing, for a good right-handed hitter, I always felt if a lefty didn't have anything cutting in off the plate, there's no way he could get in on a guy like William Contreras.
Good stuff there. Milwaukee Brewers have definitely got a good one behind the plate. All right, this weekend in the Dallas area, Las Colinas and the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the Champions Tour will be rolling in, the Invited Celebrity Classic. In addition to the great players on the Champions Tour, they can see some of their favorite celebrities, including our own Albert Pujols, who joins us now alongside the tournament founder, Mike Flaskey. Gentlemen, good to see both of you. Albert, all right, man, give us an update. What's the state of the golf game right now as we go into the Invited Classic?
Well, it's great. Obviously, good to see you guys. Thanks for having us on. Just to be here, in Dallas, I mean, Mike Flaskey has done an unbelievable job, just putting a great event along with his team. And just to be around, so many great players here and the guys in the field that are professional, but just the players that I play against with and just the competition is just a great feeling. So I'm looking forward for a great weekend. Hopefully I can make the cut and I'll be there on Sunday. So I'm just really excited to be part of it.
What's up, boys? Flask.
What's up, D-Roll?
What's going on? Flask, take me inside. I mean, your heart's in a great place. You started this a bunch of years ago. You've raised a ton of money. Kind of take me inside your vision and what you're most proud of.
Hey, D-Roll, what's happening? I appreciate you having me. What an honor to be on here with Albert. I've had the opportunity to be on here a few times, but never with a man that's got 700 dingers in the big leagues. We're most proud of the charitable, element, D-Roll. I mean, we've been really blessed. I mean, we've been able to give back over $7 million to children's charities from our MF Entertainment production events, which have been supported by the network. we probably got 22 or 3 former big league players in the field this week, and you guys have always supported us, and it's just going to be good. The Momentous Institute, First Tee of Dallas, Fort Worth. We're going to do some great things this week for them and continue the fundraising.
Hey, Albert, how do the nerves compare when you're playing an event like this in front of people who are watching as opposed to what you experienced in your great big league career?
A lot. I think it's just the first tee shot. You just don't want to change it. You just want to hit something down the middle. And I think after you go through that first hole, it's like, okay, let's go. So let's hopefully put a great round. Last year was my first time playing in this event, and I had a blast. Derosa was here last year as well, and just to go out and just play. And I love golf. That's probably about the only sport that I was able to do when I was playing baseball. So I got to enjoy it. So being around the guys and just, it's just a pretty cool experience.
Flask, who's the favorite? Who you got? Is Tony Romo back? Marty Fish?
Romo, Fish, Smoltz, Hanukkah, Mark Mulder.
Yeah.
There's a stacked field at the top. But, you never know. You never know.
Oh, look at some of the PGA Tour champions players that are expected.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Justin Leonard. Great player, University of Texas. Vijay Singh, major winner. Colin Montgomery,
major winner.
Yeah.
Hey, Albert, I want to ask you real quick, kind of jumping off the golf. Mikey Trout is putting the league back on notice. Are you shocked by this? Are you you're not surprised? Do you expect? Take me through it.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
As you know, when you have injuries in your career, it's tough. I went through, you have gone through. I think Trout is probably, when he's healthy, he's probably, if not the best player, he is the one of the best in the game. And he's fully healthy, and he knows that this have to be a big year for him. And I expect for him to put big numbers, probably winning an MVP this year in the American League. And that's a great start of the season. I think the Angels needed him to be healthy for 162 games for them to get a chance to be in the playoffs. So I think Mikey knows that. He hasn't been healthy over the last 2 or 3 years, and it's tough. It's tough to play this game when you fully 100%. Imagine when you have injuries. And that's something that he has gone through, myself and my career. And I'm just glad to see him get back into the field with his swing mode, how he's having it. And you can see his swag. He knows. He knows. He looks really good. Yeah. And I saw him early in spring training. And I saw him a couple of weeks ago. Also, he a couple of bombs over there. And I'm just glad to see him back on the top where he belongs.
Well, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area this weekend, be sure to check out Albert Pujols and the other celebrities, as well as some of the great players on the PGA Champions Tour. Or you can go to invitedcelebrityclassic.com for more information.
No double bogeys, boys. No double bogey.
Hit them straight, Albert. Mike, thank you for the time, and congratulations and best of luck to you, and have a great weekend and a great tournament.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
You got it. You need to do away
If you have any pull, you'll get rid of that open.
Just to do away with these chairs.
Yeah.
I love these.
Hi, Anthony Castro.
Hello. Yeah, this is
We've got a guest.
We got a lot of freaking out to do here.
You know how you have to be at your best behavior when you're on guest?
That's right.
Anthony
and don't eat
Castrovich.
the food. It's for our guests,
That's right.
not for you.
Anthony Castrovich of MLB.com is in studio. Of course, he's a frequent contributor here on the show. You can read his work on MLB.com. By the way, your story on Mike Hazen and Torey Lovello and the bond that those two families have shared, really, really good. So congratulations.
Thank you. They opened up to us, and Paul Solga of MLB Network, I got to give him a shout out for putting 10 hours of footage together to come up.
I urge you guys to check it out.
I reached out to him.
Yeah.
I reached out to Torey. I was like, I don't need to be getting misty-eyed.
So go
ride
search
home.
that story out. It's definitely worth your time. All right, let's play a little freak out factor. Let's start with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, would you stop?
What?
That's what it says in the rundown. I didn't craft this segment.
They're 12-9. They're supposed to be 31-0.
I like that you guys pretend that I came up with that.
No, you did not. No, we're not saying you.
But all right, where are we at on the freak out factor?
I'll put it at a 3.8. out of 10. That's how many runs they've averaged in their last 10 games. I mean, this is supposed to be an overwhelming juggernaut, not a 93-win pace. Let's go.
It's the bottom of the order that's really.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they have bullpen issues. You know, Blake Trinan's out, Brusdar Graterol's out. That's a big deal for them. Their rotation should, still be very strong. Walker Buehler come back, but yeah, look at that right there where the big dogs are doing what they're supposed to do, but the rest of that lineup, how good would Michael Busch look in this lineup, what he's done for the Cubbies?
Wow.
Andy Pages was just called up. He could be a boost for them, but they need to get it going in the bottom of the order.
And now to our top
Taylor's
story.
gotten off to a tough start.
Real slow.
Hayward's nicked up.
Yep.
But they'll be fine.
What's our top story? It's the Astros. It's Robert's Houston Astros that have caused him plenty of angst. The worst start since 2016.
Since 2016, the last time they didn't make the playoffs.
What's the number, Anthony?
That's 8.31. Wow. That's Josh Hader's ERA. It's not about Josh Hader, only Josh Hader, of course. I just like the number. You could almost put this at a 10, especially if you're you.
I'd put it at 12, Anthony. It just doesn't. It hasn't meshed for whatever reason.
Yeah. They're tired of the regular season, I'm telling you.
Well, they're going to miss the postseason.
No, you got to give it 20 more games. The 40-game mark is when Joe Espada earns his paycheck and goes in there and buries some people and says it's the names on the back say we're better than this. So,
but how do dynasties end? Either it gets old, the lineup gets old.
Yeah.
Which, this lineup can still perform with the best of them, or you run out of outs. And they're running out of outs because, when you start getting injury after injury and
top hand to really kind of choke the barrel a little bit, and you can elevate on him, but he had one of the hotter second halves.
Career hitter 224 in the months of March and April.
And we've showed his great.
I don't like March and April either.
I don't either. Not around here.
Not around here. Seattle with a day off.
A terrible starter.
In Colorado tomorrow. Freakout factor on an interference between a security guard.
This is weird.
This was weird.
Hey, security guard guy, get out of the way.
I mean, I'm fighting.
Get out of here.
I'm fighting for my life here, trying to get wins. And
so he was just late with the challenge? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Late with the challenge.
Because Ali Marmol was saving this dude's life.
Well, my thing is the umpires he should be able to get that challenge.
I agree.
Can we all stop with the nonsense?
What's the number, Anthony?
That's just 2 out of 10. I watched that, 50 times. I was breaking down as if it was a replay. Like that was the replay challenge. And I think he only held him up for maybe 2 seconds. So I put it at 2 out of 10. I still think they could have gotten it off with a little more efficiency on their end. I don't know if this was this a real security guard or a fan who stepped in, but
Look at Ali Marmol. He's looking at him like, what are we doing?
It's like a Paul Blart kind of moment.
Yes, it's Paul. Yeah, Ali Marmol is having to save Paul Blart. Meantime, he can't get a challenge in. All right, good stuff, man.
Ali Marmol can't buy a break.
I know.
Good God.
All right. Anthony is one of our favorites, and Dan O'Dowd is one of our favorites,
yes,
too.
Love him.
What is Dan O'Dowd talking about?
Anything he wants.
Jack Leiter.
Jack Leiter, yes. We feel like Jack Leiter has kind of grown up in front of our eyes. But we're also going to give you some players that deserve way more attention that they're getting. We're going to play a little game that we like to call name dropping.
His first big league start. We will be locked in starting at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on MLB Network. Dan O'Dowd is our +1. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bruce Bochy told him in spring, I'm going to need you, and it is going to be soon. What have you seen from his journey to the big leagues? Because it hasn't been a straight line to get to this point.
I actually think it's great when players struggle at the minor league
You
level.
do?
I agree.
I really do, because eventually you're going to struggle in this game. You're going to get humbled at some point in time. But I think the struggles, I think he was very focused on results when he got drafted. I think he became more of understanding that he's got to take it pitch by pitch. I think he's matured in his approach to the game. His walk rate has dropped dramatically this year, Lauren. It was 5.5 a year ago. It's in the low ones now.
25 punchies, 3 walks.
Yeah, and I think he's gone back to having that vertical ride in his four-seamer. He's got great top-to-bottom spin, kind of a good old-fashioned 12-6 curveball. I think he simplified some things. I think the more players can fail at the minor league level, if they can get through that, the better big leaguers are going to be.
I was
just going to say, if they didn't need him so badly, would he have benefited from more time or no? He's ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think everyone. I think when I watch Jack, like at his best, he reminds me of Sonny Gray a little bit. Kind of like that short stature,
Kinda
can
looks
spin
like
the
him.
baseball.
Another Van
Listen,
boy.
coming out of Vanderbilt, he got a lot of college hitters at the top of the zone to swing at his high heater. And then when he went into the minor leagues, these guys tighten up the strike zone and control it a little bit better. And he had to control his ability to get to pitch in the zone. And it took him a minute.
I still feel like there's some trueness to his fastball.
Yeah.
It might get barreled from time to time, but he's got such good other weapons. I think you have to temper your expectations. Like a kid comes out with this kind of hype and dominate the way he did in college baseball. And I think he kind of got rushed even to Double-A. I mean, Double-A, man, is the separator between men and boys. He didn't spend much time in A-ball at all, trying to just get his feet on the ground. So, I'd be happy if he got to the big league levels and he had an ERA in the mid-4s.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like the more he spends time at the big league level, the better he's going to get.
And this has been a slow burn. This wasn't a meteoric rise from 10 years old.
Yeah.
This was a slow play, and then all of a sudden, his senior year of high school, he lit up like a Christmas tree and then went to Vanderbilt. And that's why we've kind of followed.
Good message to parents.
Yeah,
too,
this is
right?
why this is. I
We'll
mean,
see you at the finish line.
You would forgive us
Like that.
if this is is personal to us because
Sure.
Al is such a good friend of all of us. And this is Al's debut. This is Al's debut right here on the network.
Streets.
On back in 2009. I mean, he helped open the doors to this place. He and a handful of others helped open the door.
I've learned a lot about pitching, Robert.
So have I. I've learned a lot about deliveries.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the
I'm
way,
more nervous though today, guys.
Al Leiter's major league debut was September of 1987. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 run against the Milwaukee Brewers, and he got the win. So good luck to the Leiter family today. The New York Mets, after that slow start, they started 0-5. And Dan, they've won 10 of 13, including a sweep against the Pittsburgh Pirates. What have you seen from the Mets recently?
Well, again, they're doing this without Frankie even getting it going yet. The Mets are built. Their pitchers throw strikes. They catch the ball exceptionally well all around the plate. And they're starting to get big hits. And Pete Alonso, for me, him heating up, him starting to hit the ball in the ballpark. Marte's off to a good start.
Yeah.
I think the sum of the parts of this team are better than the individual parts. But I think if they play well as a team together, I think it's going to be a pretty competitive team. And Dero, and Lauren, reality is 84, 85 wins may get you in the wild card spot this year. And I think this club is capable of doing that.
I agree. We did them 30 clubs, 15 days. We liked what they were
We came away
about.
very impressed with Carlos Mendoza, John Gibbons as the bench coach. I think for me, Severino's gotten off to a hot start. We talked about that. He's got to stay healthy. Quintana's got to stay healthy.
Nice pitching well. Yeah.
Bullpen's been great. Reed Garrett, how many nays? 17 of 31 batters he's punched.
It's amazing with these relievers, man. They just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Crazy. David Stern's done a really good job in his career, though, putting together bullpens.
And he brought over Tyrone Taylor. You better.
Oh,
Tyrone.
And a nice homestand for the Mets. The Braves were on the road, went 5-1 on their trip, and Ronald Acuna Jr. hit this. His first home run of the season. Max Fried said at postgame, he said, to hit that pitch there, it's just a good sign. It's a good sign for him.
Well, now get ready.
Get ready.
They're coming in bunches now.
He was getting pretty frustrated, too.
He was just missing. If you've watched Ronald, I mean, the last couple of days when I put eyeballs on him, he was fouling pitches back, and you could tell the frustration was starting to, like, I know
How'd
the
I miss
ball.
that pitch?
Exactly. So
Yeah, he came close a couple of times in that
The
series.
reality is they're winning and scoring so many runs, and he hadn't even gotten going yet.
Yeah.
And Ozzy's hurt now.
Yeah, they are a
they
lineup
say.
that is. When you look at it, you're like, how do these guys ever lose a game?
Then you watch last night, Orlando Arcia gets hot for a two-game stretch. There's just a lot there.
They're calling him Orlando Magic.
Tell you what, if you want to define a winning culture, chemistry is something that's really hard to define in our game, and nobody likes to talk about it because you can't quantify it. But you know it when you see it, and you know when you don't see it. That team has just incredible winning culture.
Is it because they all play? Because I was looking at Baseball Reference. It was Matt Olson, 162. He played 162 games.
Warren, I think there's a standard down there that's just uniquely different than our sport right now.
They demand it.
And I think a kid like Kelnick who comes with really not knowing that, you can already see him starting to change his approach and how to play the game.
I remember, and I know Freddie's not there, but I remember when Josh Donaldson came over, and he was him and Hall in the first couple, and Freddie just pulled him aside and said, hey, dude,
we don't do it
you're
like
either
that.
with us or against us.
Yeah.
We're all playing every day.
Yeah.
Get on board. And Bringer of Rain went off.
He did.
Year.
Yeah. Marcell Ozuna is currently a player that is scorching hot in that powerful Atlanta Braves lineup. Coming up,
it's really hard to pick three guys.
But Marcell Ozuna, I mean, goodness, lead the majors in home runs and RBI. A 16-game hit streak, Robert. It was just opening day that he did.
Yes.
Have a hit.
After opening day, he has gotten a hit in every game.
It's pretty impressive.
I just think he gets lost. When you think of the Braves, you think of Acuna and Albies and Riley, and Olsen, and yet, really from last year on, this guy's been a pretty steady hitter. D-Row, he's made some swing changes too. His launch angle, his weight is different than a year ago. It's not significantly different. It's like 2 degrees, but he's more on plane earlier and he's staying through the ball a little longer. And he's pretty lethal to all parts of the field right now. He's pretty locked in.
I live in Atlanta.
Look at this.
They were trying to run him out of town last April. He had some off-the-field stuff.
Did. Yeah, put himself in that position.
Got off to a slow start. I think mid-May.
Wow.
He was hitting like $1.
And after that, boy.
And then it went scorched earth. So.
He's a good player.
The ball he hit off Tanner Scott the other day.
Incredible.
Was on the ground, 0-2.
You have to know, his home runs, they've been big home runs, Lauren. They've come late in games, 9th inning, 8th inning. They've flipped a game a number of times for the Braves.
I always look
with
at
Trout for most home runs. Right?
I always look at the way players in your own dugout react to your
You're
homers,
big on that.
Yeah.
or when you get in a dust up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they know how
reaction.
connected he is to his teammates.
They love him.
Yeah.
He's got 74 home RBIs since the start of August of last year. The next closest is 63. Another slugging outfielder is Colton Cowser, part of that young nucleus in Baltimore, Dan O'Dowd, a Houston area kid. And man, he came into that Red Sox series without a home run. He left with 4.
Yeah, 5th round pick out of 2021, 1st round pick, 5th overall out of San Houston State. Another kid that's made some swing adjustments, D-Row, got his arms a little bit more extended from his body. He talked about how he felt it connected to his body more and got a little bit more in his legs. I mean, his batting average and ball in play is like a little unrealistic right now. I think it's like 500. That's going to come back to earth. But, I mean, here's what the Orioles' problem is right now.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Mullins, they can't take out of center.
Austin Hayes doesn't play anymore?
Well, he has to. I mean, he was an all-star a year ago.
Santander's playing.
Yeah, he's a key part of their clubhouse. The biggest issue for the Orioles now is when you look at him and Kierstead and Stowers and Colby Mayo.
Right.
At some point in time, they've got to create some space for these guys to play because, as you know, good players want to play, and that's going to become a problem for their manager.
Create the space either in Baltimore or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Did you have Cowser so high in the draft?
I really liked the swing.
Yeah.
I really did.
Sam Houston State, 5th over. It's not like they're a juggernaut.
Yeah, exactly. So you really have. But the one thing the Orioles do, I think, is better than anybody else, is that if you notice, they draft hitters.
Yeah.
They don't draft power. They draft hitters, and they draft hitters that all kind of do the same thing, and they don't deviate from that. And so, when they take a hitter now, I think they've earned for me, that guy must be able to hit.
What do you notice early from Blaze Alexander? We love his name, Blaze, the first time we heard him.
I go back a little bit from Blaze. I've watched him play since IMG. Just want to give you a little bit of family history here. His grandfather played minor league baseball. His dad played minor league baseball. His brother plays for the Kansas City Royals. And his uncle is our very own Danny Plesac.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was his nephew.
Yep, that's his nephew.
I mean, I knew Zach Plesac was his nephew, but I
just want to share this to me, because I think it's a really cool story, and I really want to mention someone I think that was very dear to me. It's no longer with us. Blaze was a really crude kid coming out of IMG. He was an 11th round draft pick, though he got $500,000. He's going to South Carolina, was never going to go to school. And he spent 5 years, got 1,500 plate appearances, kind of grinding his way through the minor leagues.
Yeah.
I talked to Michael Bell about his second year into his development process, the late Michael Bell.
Yeah.
And he said, there's something special here if we can mentally get him to unlock and slow things down and start being a little bit more coachable about the things he's got to get better at. But Mike said to me, but I got this kid. I think that Michael Bell, for me, was, if you didn't know him, I think for me, was one of the best development guys with kids I've ever been around in my career. And I think he really made a difference in this young man. Wow, again, this kid came into spring training. He had to beat out Elvis Andrus. There wasn't a spot for him on the team. He had to earn it with his spring training performance, and he did. Now, Perdomo's hurt. He's their everyday starting shortstop. He's off to a great start. It's just
got a great story.
He may be the best arm in the game from any infield position. It is an 8 cannon. It's a bazooka.
Him and Mason win.
Says he's always.
Well, that'd be a good one right there. That'd be a good one. Anyway, it's just a really good story, and that's stories that our game.
It just goes to show you, coaches, I tell you this all the time, like, don't take the coaching for granted. Like, for a coach, you have an opportunity to impact people's lives.
If you do this, if you establish a personal relationship with the kid, if you show vulnerability yourself, and you breathe greatness into the kid day in and day out, and there's so much negativity in our game, there's so much fear in our game. More coaches need to do what Michael Bell did every day to every single player that he touched while he was on the face of this earth.
That's so well said, Dan.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out also to Paul Blackburn, who definitely
I was dialed in on him.
Somebody should have went and got him at the trading deadline.
Yeah, I mean,
what he missed.
He does give up a run yesterday. He was trying to become the first pitcher in the modern era to have 4 straight scoreless starts to begin a season.
He's coming on Central next week.
Oh, nice.
I watched this game until he came out of this game. First off, Dallas Braden, you made me laugh about 3 different times throughout the call. I mean, calling him Paulie, goose eggs, Paulie, punch out, the whole thing was fun.
He's good.
He's got a feel. I hate when we talk about, this guy doesn't have elite stuff. He was 93 to 94 with good sink, a good cut on I mean, he had plenty
and he's going to have a chance to stay healthy throwing that way, too.
Good cutter in on lefties, backdoor 2-seamer. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Chris Benson-like.
Blackburn and Mason Miller in studio next week on Tuesday.
Oh, Mason Miller. Have you seen that dude's fastball?
That guy, he can rip it pretty good.
Holy moly. Those guys will be in studio next week here on MLB Central.
There is a speed bump on the front. This is a child-protected area. Slow down less than 30 kilometers.